Hi, I'm Joe at Heart's Home Acoustics. Today I want to talk about the rule of thumb. Basically your left-hand thumb or your fretting thumb if you're left-handed, like Sonny or Johnny watching this video. Where do you want to place it? The conventional wisdom or rule or wives' tale is that the thumb should be back behind the neck. And that is true if you're playing in a classical position where the guitar is between your legs and the neck is up high. Then you want the thumb back behind the neck. Why is that? Well, when you look at the way the hand is designed, you can flex the hand farther forward than you can backwards. And ideally, the healthiest position for your hand is when the wrist is at its mid-range of motion. Because of the range of motion, you want that mid-range. So slightly flexed is going to be a healthy playing position. When I have my neck up high and I have the thumb behind the neck, all of a sudden my wrist is in that mid-range of motion. Look at what happens when I put the thumb up peeking over the top of the neck. All of a sudden I've hyperextended my wrist. And that's going to be, could possibly lead to some repetitive strain type injuries like carpal tunnel syndrome or tendonitis. So you want to avoid that hand position by dropping the thumb. But look at what happens when we put the guitar on the right leg. I'm going to be using a flat pick and now my neck is parallel to the floor. And if I put my thumb back behind the neck, all of a sudden I've hyperflexed my wrist. It's just way too flexed. It should be in a mid-range of motion, just slightly flexed. So when I have my wrist slightly flexed, look at what happens to my thumb. It's peeking over the top. And that's actually a healthy playing position because of the position of the wrist. That's what you want to pay attention to. That being said, depending on the chord you're playing or the scale or lick, whatever, your wrist has to be flexible and go through a variety of positions to accommodate what your fingers are doing. If I'm playing some simple first position chords, my thumb can ride up at the top of the neck. All of a sudden I go up the neck and I try playing some big old Jamboni jazz chord, and I've got to drop my thumb to accommodate that finger spread. I move to another chord and you'll see that my thumb wants to pop back up. So you want to create this or develop this flexible hand position where the thumb either moves up or down depending on what your fingers have to do in order to keep that wrist in its mid-range of motion. There's always a compromise there. So the rule of thumb in general is this. If the neck is low, the thumb should be riding high. If the neck is high, the thumb should be riding low. And all of that is to accommodate a healthy playing position where your wrist is in mid-range of motion. I'm Joe at Heart's Home Acoustics. Come back and see us.